Okay guys, so I want to respond to this very hilarious video. Wait for it, the stitch is incoming.
You silly, ignorant humans. These are not gang signs.
I almost wish they were. It would make more contextual sense for you to be throwing up gang signs than doing whatever the fuck this is. Yet another example in the ever-growing library titled Reasons Why White People Should Not Do Psychedelics Alone. Bro, how do they all default to this shit? They all default to like light language, I'm an energy weaver type. None of you want to do like community service and all. That doesn't call to you after mushrooms. What the fuck?
Okay, so while that was hilarious, and I love how she delivered it, I actually think that both are valid and both are true. And she makes this, the second commentator makes a very, very valid point. And I see this a lot, and I've spoken about it. Me and Freya spoke about it at length in my podcast, talking about the deafening silence in the spiritual community when it comes to, you know, topics like genocide and the fascism that's, currently has completely gripped the United States, and just where we are in our collective ascension journey. Like, so many people are just completely spiritually bypassing it. But mudras are very real. Okay, so, you know, those of you who have done my trauma healing course, Reclaim Your Crown, where I use the science of Himalayan Kriya Yoga to tap trauma out of the body. It's a very, very powerful system. We use mudras like this, for example, is not, the 666. This is the Gyan mudra. We use it in meditation. It's very grounding. It enhances concentration. The mudra that the First Lady is doing in the video is the Kalashwar mudra. It can actually heal back pain, okay? So basically, we have energy meridians in our body that are basically like electrical circuits. And when you do different mudras with your hands, it basically is like connecting those circuits, okay? So it allows the energy to flow through your body and can remove blocks and traumas and all powerful things, especially when combined with the breath. So all of these tools are available to all of us. The thing is, if you're actually practicing yoga, you start to awaken, okay? That's the point of it. Yoga, the word yoga literally means union, okay? Divine union. So it connects you to the divine. And balances the masculine, feminine energies in the body, connects you to a divine beloved as well, as you guys have seen has been unfolding in my life, okay? It awakens you to our interconnectedness, okay? So there are 8 limbs of yoga. Ahimsa is, do no harm. Speaking truth, divesting from harmful systems, okay? Like BDS. If you're not engaged in collective liberation work, then you're not actually practicing yoga, okay? So you're in a state of disassociation. And yoga, basically the dark occultists, people like Madame Blavatsky, Aleister Crowley, people like that, traveled to India and took a lot of these ancient ascension technologies that were meant to liberate humanity and repackaged them and resold them as the kind of neo-tantra satanic bullshit that we see today, okay, which I spoke about in my recent podcast on ISTA. The fake mystery school that does like blood sacrifice rituals and rapes people in the container and things like that. When it comes to things like energy healing and light language, many of you who have worked with me know I am a quantum field worker. I access people's light bodies. I can remove blocks from their auric field. I can remove cords that connect them to past lovers. I use light language to clear implants that connect them to like famine and poverty fields that affect their abundance, activate gift templates that generate new energy, new abundance, new creativity in their light body. This stuff is really, really real, okay? So don't knock it, but it's only real as long as it manifests in real world change, okay? So y'all see me mostly advocating for Palestine. Like, I don't talk that much about the healing work. I am going to start talking about it more and more now though, because it's time and I've trained for it for years, and that's my role in this collective liberation struggle. But part of why I speak so much for Palestine is because I am trying to model what happens when you actually start to ascend using these tools, and you actually start truly getting closer and closer to God and submitting to your divine mission on this planet, okay, you start to become a change agent, okay, a change maker. You start to, when you unblock the implants that are shutting down your voice, you start to speak truth fearlessly, okay? Unless it's manifesting in real world change, like taking action, okay, the work is not working, okay? And especially with my gifts, my gifts of clairvoyance that allow me to see in people's light bodies, allow me to see, you know, their parallel lifetimes and, you know, who's hooking into their energy or entities that are attached to them. Those gifts come directly from the Most High, okay? They don't come from any entities, any demonic energies. I don't work with any demons or any fallen angelics or anything like that, okay? I only work with God and certain beings that serve the law of one, like Jesus is one of my guides who helps me with entity removal and things like that. So when your gifts come from God, that means that you have to be in submission to God, okay? And part of my templating is I'm channeling the ancient mysteries that were taken from that region, okay? Sumerian tablets and the Abrahamic, just the Abrahamic traditions, okay? Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, okay? Which were basically like a trilogy that were all based on Egyptology and the Sumerian tablets and then ancient mystery school temples, okay, of Ishtar, okay? Those were the original ascension codes that have now been diluted. And some of that also ended up in yoga and tantric teachings as well, okay? So I'm a syncretist, I'm studying all of it to try and put it all together and decode. So that means I have to do what God tells me to do, okay? Which means I had to take a whole year of work to post about what was happening in Palestine and to just trust that I was going to be taken care of and that everything would be okay, okay? Now, obviously we know it's not okay because we all have to be doing this. We all have to get right with God. We all have to submit to God. But don't knock the mudras and the energy healing and all of that stuff until you've tried it, okay? But yes, if it's not manifesting in real world action, speaking truth, calling out injustice, then that person, their gifts probably don't come from God. They're probably working with some nefarious entities. So be mindful of people like that. And yeah, that's all I have to say on that for today.